So what are some of the most dangerous jobs on a
Sorry,
ship?
guys. Apologies.
Yeah, no worries.
Stop.
That's okay.
The guy is running to a different office, and the general manager is calling the police. So he's downstairs waiting, coming at any minute now. But I don't know if you guys want to have a chat with him, or if we just wait for the police to arrive,
Well,
or if...
Are you joking?
Gobsmacked.
So
Okay,
when I went downstairs, the general manager said,
can we
wait?
pause this for a second?
Yeah.
Let's just cut there. Might be a little bit longer.
I'm so sorry.
So have the police been called?
The Sail Away Uncensored Cruise Podcast.
So this is a bit different because we should have had a guest with us today.
Yeah.
But it hasn't quite worked out as we'd expected. So we came across a person on TikTok called Harry, and we invited him for an interview on Sail Away Uncensored because of his behaviour on a cruise on Harmony of the Seas, didn't we? But we looked at his videos and we found that his behaviour was so alarming, and made even worse because he didn't seem to show any sort of remorse or guilt. But anyway, we were keen to invite him onto the podcast to sit down with him and see whether he had developed any remorse and to try and get an understanding about him as a person. And before we could even
Sit him down.
or even meet him, the police were called and
He's been escorted off the premises.
he's been escorted off the premises. So what happened yesterday?
Went to the wrong room, stood outside, asked where the reception was, and the guy come out and he went, "Can you move away yet?" And then I retaliated, told him to go off, and then he called the police.
Why would
That's
anyone
what she said
come
to
up to you and say, "Move on, you," or whatever you said? Why would anyone say that?
And I went to the front door, and he come out the thing, and he went, "Can you off you?" That's what he said to me, because we're on a Zoom call or something. I said, "I didn't know he was on a Zoom call. The door was open." I said, "I want to know where the reception is."
Were you drinking yesterday?
No.
You didn't post on TikTok saying you're having a beer in the morning or anything like that?
Yeah, I had a beer in the morning. Yeah, I had one
You
beer in the
drunk
morning.
that day then?
I didn't just so I had one beer.
It was a blessing in disguise. I think there's someone upstairs looking down on us today, because if he can walk into the wrong building and start threatening someone,
Then I think the questions we would have asked him.
I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have seen an answer. I think I would have seen a fist coming towards my face. So I think it's a very good job that I never got to meet him. But let's discuss what we saw in his podcast.
Let's start from the beginning, not from his TikToks. So his first video was him, I think, was explaining the situation of why he was banned. That's the first one you showed me, first of all.
He was getting a talking to from what looks like security on board Harmony of the Seas, and they're basically confining him to his cabin.
Okay, so guys, first I want you to take his responsibility for tonight. Okay, look after him for a while. Make sure he will not go out of the room. Okay.
I won't go out the room.
Christopher, listen. Okay, this is
With my drinks card, go back on tomorrow.
Okay, listen to me carefully. Okay, this is very serious. All right.
Okay.
We give you first warning, and this is our last warning.
I'm very sorry.
If you violate again, if you come out from your cabin again, okay, there will be a different situation. Okay, we might have to put you inside the room and the guard outside. Okay, do you want to go in that?
No.
Okay, so what I want you to do is cooperate with us.
I sleep tonight.
Your alcohol is stopped. Okay.
Because he lit a cigarette at the disco. We don't actually know where the disco was. Even if it was outside, you can't just smoke anywhere.
Of course you can't. They have a smoking side and a non-smoking side.
Yeah.
Even at the pool deck.
And I've heard music, so there you go again. There's music blaring, the disco, wherever it is. That's where that catchphrase comes from. I didn't mean to smoke the smoke at the disco when I got back to the room. Yeah, because literally I went in there. I didn't realise, because there's not really like any signs saying no smoking or anything like this, yeah. And I went in there and I had a few to drink, I'll admit. Yeah, so I wasn't completely with it anyway. But obviously I was a bit drunk. Walked in there, I said to a guy, I said, "Dog, have you got a light, please? You got a light?" And he pulled the light out and I lit the cigarette up, literally just lit it up that second, and then it happened. You're not allowed to smoke in here, and I put it straight out. But I didn't realise because in the casino I could smoke. Yeah, you could smoke in the casino in certain places. So I've just come out on autopilot, and I know I shouldn't have done it. Well, I wasn't. I just didn't think. Like, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so right now we found him smoking in front of the disco.
Well, you know, you just need to just follow the rules, like.
So I didn't mean to smoke. I didn't mean to smoke at the disco.
I have to go for a light. Lit up the cigarette. I was like, like I shouldn't have lit this up here. When I got a tap on the shoulder, put it straight out. Then he escorted me back to my room, and then woke my girlfriend up there. That's when he took me into the room. That's when I jumped onto the bed to record it, so I could get a good shot of like obviously what they were saying to me and stuff.
But then there was another TikTok where he was explaining his actions, and I think he quoted saying that cruises are for old people, and that he would never cruise again.
Well, that was one of his later videos where he'd been banned at this point by Royal Caribbean, and he was saying that basically you can't do everything you want to do on a cruise ship, and you can't get drunk. And he was saying that people were getting annoyed with him because he was playing music on a beatbox by the pool area.
Yeah, but let's just stop a second. Of course you can have fun on a cruise ship. Of course you can drink, and of course you can have a laugh and have a dance. But then there's a line. There's a line you don't cross.
That's why I said it's for boring people. You know, people ain't really got like.
I think cruising.
I think boring.
I think
Coughing dodgers.
Sensible people.
Coughing dodgers and families. That's what it is.
You said about you playing music, and I saw that in one of your TikToks.
Yeah.
How do you think other passengers feel about like loud music?
Well, at the same time, with my argument is they're blaring out music like all day long, from morning until the evening, and I wasn't actually even blaring music out in the hallways or anything like that. I was like on the top floor, out the way of everybody else. I had like all the people I made friends with. Nobody was even bothered. We were all chilling together, listening to music, drinking, having a laugh and a joke. It was literally, I think it was just the security. They didn't like the, I think the atmosphere. It was like, because like we were not getting. We were partying. I'm trying to say like we were, and I don't think they really liked. I think they want everybody just sitting there and being quiet. And like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it just didn't seem like they liked the fact that we looked like we was having more fun than anybody, to be honest. We were.
If I was on a cruise and someone was playing loud music, I'd either say something or complain. Because
exactly. But at the same time, this is what, if someone had to come up to me and said to me, "Excuse me, do you mind turning the music down, or do you mind going somewhere else?" I would have quite gladly turn it off, or whatever, or turn it all down. I wouldn't have carried on. But literally every single person we saw had a smile on the face and was putting the thumbs up. It was like every single. It wasn't like I was doing it around people and disturbing them. It was like I was just one corner on my own, and then I got quite through. Well, made quite a few friends. But throughout the day, they're blaring out R&B or whatever they want to blare out. But that doesn't seem to be a problem with anybody. And that they've got a sound system, and like their sound system is a lot louder than my little speaker that goes over my shoulder. But I think the
difference is you know that's the shit. They always play like background music and things like that. That's
of course. Well, yeah, you could say background music, but it's blaring. It's a sound system, mate. It's like a party on there. You know what I'm trying to say? It's just the background.
I mean, I've only got like your TikToks to go by, but the one where you're at the smoking area, the music did seem quite loud there.
Yeah. That was the first day I was on party mode, mate.
All right.
You know, on one holiday at the end of the day, there was only a few people, as you could see around there, and then the guys who were sitting there, they all seemed happy, didn't they? You know, at the end of the day, I paid to go on holiday. I'm not going to be sitting there and footing around. I'm there to enjoy myself. You know what I'm trying to say? So
I wouldn't like that as a passenger. That people have worked hard to save for the cruise they're on, and then you've got some yob by the pool. And I have to say, looking at him in his videos, he is the epitome of a stereotypical British yob that you would get in Benidorm or somewhere like that. But then doesn't belong on a cruise ship.
No, but then there's another thing he did as well, which was very alarming, was that while he was playing his beatbox or whatever it was in that clip, he then threw a cigarette out the window overboard.
That really angered me because as a ship's officer, but even if you've got a brain,
common sense,
you just don't do it. So in that particular video, I noticed that you chucked a cigarette over the side of the ship.
Okay, here we go with this as well. Let's just go onto the carbon footprint that ship pumps out every single day. Go and look at the carbon footprints of those cruise ships. And then go and look at how much reactions are free. You go and look at all the rubbish that they pump out the back of the cruise ships as well, every single day, all the rubbish.
I think you're completely... hang on, you're missing the point.
I should have free it.
When you do your muster drill, you would have been told by the captain, and presumably you watched the safety video on your cabin TV.
They didn't. I'll be honest with you now. They didn't. Right. I got onto there. It was really late in the day. I didn't even watch nothing. Right. They didn't put anything in front of me. No emergency thing or nothing. That's not on their part.
All right. You should have done. They asked you to watch it, but
no, they didn't do it. I was quite surprised about it as well. I even said something to them, and they didn't even say nothing about it.
The captain definitely made an announcement, and you would have been there because they even broadcast it through the cabins. It's maritime law, so they would have done it. And in that, they ask you to not chuck anything over the side of the ship, especially cigarettes. And
I should have first cigarette. But yeah, okay.
It's not the carbon footprint so much, but in 2006 there was a cruise ship called Star Princess, and someone like you chucked a lit cigarette over the side of the ship, and it caused a fire that was so great it burnt through 300 cabins. 13 people were injured, and one person sadly died. That's why they ask you not to chuck cigarettes over the side of the ship.
Wow, I didn't even hear that at all. No way.
Do you think that was because you'd had a drink?
Maybe. No, I don't know.
So
it's for a cigarette. I just think for the finest cigarette.
You were definitely drunk in that video.
So what? I'm on holiday.
Yeah, you keep using that as a justification, but
I'm on holiday. I'm English.
So you're quite happy to jeopardise everyone else's safety just because you're on holiday and you're having fun?
What? Well, I didn't know flicking a cigarette off the side of a cruise ship would cause a massive fuss, to be honest.
I'm just curious to understand what you thought you were going to say when we spoke.
With what? I've accepted that. I was playing music on there, but I've just turned around and said, I'd do it, and I'd do it again.
Right. So when I
am expecting response. Okay, I'm swearing around people.
Right. You know? But you've said numerous times that you don't give a shit. So why would anyone go up and ask you if you? Surely you turn around to them and say, "I don't give a shit."
No. Like I said to you, straight away, stop twisting what I said. I said if somebody come over to me, I said turn it down. I don't give a shit what the shit said to me to not play my music. That's basically what I mean. Right. I'll do it and I'll do it again. I'll do it again and I'll do it again.
I get the impression with this guy that he doesn't like someone telling him he can't do something. He's prepared to go through life and just do whatever he wants, and to hell with the consequences. And when there are consequences, like getting banned by Royal Caribbean, he's quick to blame Royal Caribbean and say, oh, well, cruising's only for old people.
But typically, cruise lines don't take it lightly when they ban people, though.
Cruise lines like Royal Caribbean don't want people to think that security staff on board are overzealous and you can't have fun and things like that. You said in your video that you've been banned from Royal Caribbean. Is that correct?
No. I haven't been banned from the cruise ship at all. I've got kicked off the cruise ship.
Where did they kick you off?
Coast Dumo.
Where's that? I'm not familiar.
It's an island, a Mexican island.
You said in one of your videos that you feel that a cruise is only suitable for those over the age of 60. Do you really believe that?
Yeah, well, I do believe it's for boring people, yeah.
Boring people that...
Yeah, just boring, yeah.
But we're talking about a guy who admitted on one of his TikToks that he's quite happy to get drunk and go around the ship urinating into plant pots and lighting up cigarettes at discos and chucking cigarettes over the side of the ship.
Yeah, so yesterday, bit of a mishap happened when I was drinking, and security guards surrounded me because apparently I urinated into a plant pot.
You mentioned in another TikTok something about a plant pot. What happens there?
Yeah. That was the morning after, obviously, the first night. I knew this was cool. And my new friends, because it was a bit hazy to me, the night was. I saw him, he said, yeah, he said, you in that plant pot, then? Yeah, I was like, what? Because the security never said nothing to me about this. I was like, what? This plant pot? He's like, yeah. Everybody saw you do it. But then I spoke to him later on that day, and he said, no, we already won you up. I was like, I made a TikTok of that because I actually he's a bit of a haze, but yeah, nah, he was just rumours. People pulling my leg, to be honest.
This is why I refuse to use kettles in cabins on cruise ships, because
the amount of stories we've heard.
I've heard so many stories from people who've worked in the industry and in hotels where you get people that decide to get drunk and then they decide to do silly things like relieving themselves into a kettle.
Of course they clean them, but still, I just don't trust them.
Yeah. One of the things that he did, which really it pales into insignificance, really, the shouting and the swearing around people in a smoking area, you just don't behave like that on a cruise ship. And I do think it does beg the question, has there been a real slip in the sort of clientele and the sort of people you get on cruise ships nowadays? Because if you go back 2, 3, 4 decades, I don't think you got people like this going on cruises. I am not stereotyping all British cruisers by any means, but I don't think someone like him would have gone away, or has people's behaviour in general deteriorated.
Well, let's be honest, it's not the first time that we've witnessed poor behaviour on a cruise, is it? We've witnessed someone before sitting around by a pool who's decided to take his pants off and put them on his head as a hat.
Yes, and we got talking to someone on a ship once, and nice enough chap, and then he said, I'll be back in a minute, I'm going for a slash, and then we watched him go straight into the swimming pool, and 30 seconds come straight back to see us.
That was the last time we used the hot tub on that cruise.
You know, for example, his decision to just chuck a lit cigarette over the side of the ship and things like that, that's why there's very few smoking areas on cruise ships now. You know, each to their own. I've got nothing against smokers or whatever, but the reason you're no longer allowed to smoke on your balconies and they've got rid of ashtrays is because you get people like him and they are prepared to ignore the rules and put everyone's safety in jeopardy.
But that's the point, though. It's safety, because fire is one of the biggest risks to a cruise ship.
Yeah. He is an unusual character.
I've seen some of your other podcasts with the people that you're talking to on there, mate, and it's like watching a grey wall dry with paint. That's what it basically seems like to me. I watch your other podcast. It's like watching paint dry.
Well, I think this one will be found quite interesting because I think we'll see the true character of who you actually are. Why is it only for coffin dodgers? Like, what are things?
Because it's boring. Because it's boring. And like you said, you can't play music on there. You can't. It's just boring. That's why for coffin dodgers, mate. It's boring for cruisers. It's on there, to be honest. I hate it.
But ships are dangerous places. It's how.
Oh, it's so dangerous for me playing music, isn't it?
No, I mean you can't handle your drink, and there's a risk that you could fall over the side of the ship. How do you think that? What's so funny?
Oh my
How do you
God.
think? How do you
You're
think?
just making it up as you go along, ain't you? You're just making it up as you go along.
No, I don't think you actually have a clue. Most people that fall over.
Okay. Oh, he's gonna. So I was the only person drunk on that whole shit there, and you said. So
You were
what are you going on
probably the
about?
only person in that cruise that was removed from the ship.
Yeah, good. Glad.
Well,
I am glad.
I think
I was happy.
that's the end of that. Because you
Brilliant, mate.
take any responsibility for your actions.
No responsibility.
And I really, well, it's good that you've got no interest in going on a cruise again, because I don't think many passengers would want to spend time with you.
Well, you go and speak to the other 20 people that I was friends with. I'm still friends with on Facebook now.
Are they like you?
Again. Like me? They're millionaires, mate. I can show you. They're millionaires.
So we'll end it there. But,
okay. Brilliant.
All right then.
Can we sort this money out then as well, please?
You won't be paid the £150.
Why is that?
You signed the contract. You'll know if you read it. You breached 2 clauses. Firstly, you threatened studio staff. So that's
he threatened me first.
No, not buying it. You threaten them. And secondly, you didn't do the podcast in the studio, and we were liable for a £500 fee. So absolutely no way are we paying you the fee. You can't behave.
I want to get my money back for my travel.
Well, what was your travel?
126 and then a taxi.
No, we're not covering that. You wasted our time and our money yesterday.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think he would ever admit that he did anything wrong. But I'm very, very intrigued to see what he puts out in the coming days and weeks, and see whether... I don't think he's going to be very happy. I mean, this guy travelled quite a long way to get to us in London, and he's been told to move on by police.
Let's wait and see.